Welcome back, you guys. Chris Wrestling Views back again with a Raw review, you guys. Of course, Raw was still in Paris, of course, and so it played earlier today, 2 p.m. Eastern, my time. So let's go ahead and jump into the show. CM Punk was up there. He was waiting for Seth Rollins to come in. CM Punk would be, would just be still waiting back there. Adam Pearce would come and, tell him that Seth Rollins is already in the building somewhere that he was getting word from. So that's when, CM Punk, he come out to the ring, he was going to hijack the show. I thought he was going to wait until the end of the show, which kind of made the main event, a little shorter than expected. So, of course, CM Punk, you guys, he would, come out there and said that he wanted Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins' song did play, but we ended up getting where it was Becky Lynch. So I was like, oh, man, this is wild here. So, of course, looks like Becky Lynch is a part of, the Vision right now. And so this, this makes it even interesting here. So, with that being said, Becky Lynch did come out and she said while she was trying to, build her prime and everything up, you guys, that she kept hearing, CM Punk chants, from the thing. So it does make sense of some great storytelling. So, of course, Seth Rollins did come out, you guys, and that's when Becky Lynch gave him that look. And he was like, hey, CM Punk, I'm still the champ. He said, anything you got to say to me, say it in my face. And, of course, Becky Lynch would continue to block him. She started pushing him on his shoulders, started slapping him front, backhand, pushing him in the face, pushing his shoulders, everywhere you can think of. And then he got the mic and said that, she even gave him like a head nudge, you guys. And that was one thing as well. I was like, what the world? It's like she was trying to get CM Punk fired up like the old CM Punk, you guys. And so she definitely did got him fired up. And, he ended up saying, your husband going to regret, what he did to me. And he said, you also going to regret, of what, of you putting your hands on me. And I was like, oh, shoot. And the crowd was just kept on like 3 times during this segment where was chanting AJ Lee, AJ Lee, AJ Lee. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, this is going to be interesting here. We did see Rhea Ripley while CM Punk was, waiting back there in the back still was talking to CM Punk, and she was just hoping that CM Punk, get what he wants. So, of course, you guys, that's where CM Punk, was like, where are we again this Friday? And he was like, hometown country or something like that. And of course he said tremendous. And so I was like, okay, maybe this is somewhere where we will get AJ Lee, which her last name is Mendez. So it makes like some good Easter eggs. So we did get Adam Pearce announced that it's going to be Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the vacant Raw the Women's World Championship. So I definitely feel like Stephanie Vaquer is going to win. And of course, we seen backstage where Io Sky was talking to the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, and saying, we forgive you, so on and so forth. They did have a match against Judgment Day's Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. And so in that match there, you guys, the match was pretty cool, pretty decent, and everything as you can expect. And of course, Asuka actually made Roxanne Perez tap out. I think this is like maybe her first time tapping out. And it looks like Asuka was the first one to make her tap out. I could be wrong, but of course we did see Nikki Bella was approached, was talking to, Io Sky and was congratulating her and all that stuff or whatever on her world title match that she has at WrestlePalooza. But I definitely feel like Asuka definitely going to cost Io Sky her championship match. So I definitely thinking this is very interesting between Io Sky and Asuka. I never seen these two actually fight before, but I think we're definitely going to see it possibly like at Survivor Series or something like that, or like a team Kabuki Warriors versus like a like a team Rhea versus like team Io Sky or something like that. A Rhea Ripley would would be backstage. And of course, the Kabuki Warriors, they would approach Rhea and said that, stay away from us and all that stuff like that. But Io wasn't even really talking to Rhea tonight at all. So they kept their distance with that. So of course, Finn Balor would have a match against Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee has stepped up his game big time, like way before they did that. Well, like way after the LWO thing that they used to do. I don't even think they really do LWO, and I don't even think, well, they do, but I think it's just Rocky Wild and Cruz del Toro. But I don't even think Dragon Lee is a part of that anymore. But Dragon Lee has definitely stepped up his game, and definitely the crowd was definitely behind Finn Balor. Like I said, Finn Balor definitely did pick up the victory, you guys. It was a interesting thing, and you can see the crowd was definitely behind him. They were also big, more than anybody was behind AJ Styles. It's like it's a phenomenal chant thing, you guys. And I was like, goodness Lord. Went on commercial break, came back. They still chanting, you guys, for AJ Styles. It's it's like a it's like a chant of like, you know it's phenomenal or something like that. But it was definitely wild, you guys, of that crowd. But we ended up getting where Dominic Mysterio was facing AJ Styles for Intercontinental Championship. And Dominic, he got some dirty Dom chants out there, but not as many. But of course, we did get Dominic end up winning the match, by like it's really like an Edge-o-matic type thing, but I think they call it, they called it something else. But anyways, Dominic, you guys, when they got banned, like this was before the match, Finn Balor definitely want Dominic to actually lose the Intercontinental Championship. You can tell he had like the smirk on his face. But through that match, you guys, Dominic Mysterio had his foot on the rope. And this is where we ended up on getting El Grande Americano, because there's always somebody that's going to try to help the person when, like, the person's team, kind of like the thing with Seth Rollins, where we didn't have Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed. They got banned for the building. Same thing with JD McDonough and, Finn Balor. So, of course, we've seen him numerous of weeks, talking to El Grande Americano. Will El Grande Americano help Dominic Mysterio win the AAA Mega Championship? And I think that is next Friday, you guys, on Worlds Collide. Exclusively here on YouTube, but I think it's on the Lucha Libre Triple H YouTube channel, so definitely check that out next Friday after SmackDown goes off the air. So, of course, Penta did have a match. It was Penta and the War Raiders versus the New Day and Grayson Waller, of course. Grayson Waller, of course, he was knocked out throughout the match, and so War Raiders and Penta actually picked up the victory with Xavier Woods taking the pin after getting hit with the Mexican Destroyer and all that stuff, whatever. But anyways, Lyra Valkyria is looking for Bailey and stuff like that, and Lyra wants a match against one of the Judgment Day women, whether it's Roxanne Perez or Raquel Rodriguez. I think more so it's gonna be Raquel Rodriguez next week on Raw. So with that being said, you guys, the opening part of the show, Jey Uso came out. He really didn't yeet as he normally would. He was upset. He was dressed in all black. He was saying like, he listened to the advice from, his cousin Roman, but he had to come out. If he didn't help Roman, he would have been 100% in his match. But at the same time, with the Samoan lineage, you guys, they're always about family. Like, family is everything to them. They fuss, they fight, but they still love each other deep down inside. So, of course, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed did come out there, and LA Knight, end up, accepting the match that the Bronze actually wanted to do. And of course, LA Knight, called him like a cross-out half-witted, and called the other one like a greasy monkey or something like that. And I was like, oh man, here we go. So the Bronze actually issued the challenge to Jay and LA Knight to actually team up, and LA Knight said, he'll, get back with Jey Uso later. So, of course, you guys, after later on during the night, after CM Punk was talking to Becky Lynch and all that stuff, we ended up getting the main event, where it's Jey Uso and LA Knight versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And the match was pretty cool, pretty decent. Crowd was like okay with it. at the same time, but I would definitely have to say it was decent. But of course, the Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed actually did pick up the victory, where Braun Breaker actually speared Jay Uso and actually pinned him instead of LA Knight. Now, of course, he did get Tsunami one time, and then we hear a theme song played, you guys, after he was about to get squashed again. And next thing you know, it was Big Jimmy Uso. Of course, he came down. Now, it looks like the Usos have been reunited, you guys. I'm ready to actually see. They haven't teamed up in like a couple of years now. So I'm definitely happy about that, you guys. He came in and checked on his brother. And I definitely know that they're going to have a tag match at WrestlePalooza. The Usos versus the Brawns. So let's see how that's going to go, you guys. Cool show, you guys. Cool Monday Night Raw. Rating on the show, I have to give it 9 out of 10, you guys. Let's see what's going to happen this Friday on SmackDown. See you guys later.